Hey everyone, I'm Arju Kushwa and welcome back to my channel. Previously we discussed about the introduction of chromatography and today we will discuss about adsorption and partition chromatography. Okay, let's start it and listen carefully. Okay, chromatographic techniques can be classified into two main categories: partition and adsorption chromatography, depending on how the solute interact with the stationary phase. The mode of interaction between the sample components and the two phases can be classified into two types, although many separation processes are combination of both. If the sample is attracted to the surface of the phase, commonly to the surface of solid stationary phase, the process is called adsorption. If the sample diffuses into the interior of the stationary phase, the process called adsorption. Term partition is recommended by the IUPAC. Okay? Adsorption chromatography is a type of chromatography in which the separation of components present in mixture is based on the relative differences in adsorption of component to the stationary phase present in the chromatography column. The component of mixture travel with different rates due to differences in their non-covalent interactions with stationary phases. The adsorption involves weak non-covalent interactions such as ionic interactions, van der Waals forces, okay, hydrogen bonding and hydrophobic forces between the component of the mixture and the stationary phase. For example, polar components adsorb strongly to the polar stationary phase while non-polar components adsorb strongly to the non-polar stationary phase. The more polar a molecule, the more strongly it will be absorbed by a polar stationary phase. Similarly, the more non-polar a molecule, the more strongly it will be absorbed by non-polar stationary phase. Due to differences in degree of adsorption, less tightly bound compound elute out by the mobile phase earlier than the tightly bounded one. Hence, during separation of component of the mixture, when we use a polar stationary phase, polar component elute out late due to greater adsorption and non-polar component get out of the column or elute out first. This is exactly reverse on using a non-polar stationary phase. Adsorption chromatography consists of solid stationary phase known as adsorbent. The mobile phase is either a liquid, that is liquid solid chromatography, or a gas solid chromatography. The adsorption can be polar or non-polar molecules. Most commonly used adsorbent are polar, either acidic like silica or basic like alumina molecules. Okay? Aluminium molecules. The adsorptive effect of the polar adsorbent are often due to the presence of hydroxyl group and the formation of hydrogen bond with the solute molecule. The strength of these bonds and hence the degree of adsorption increases as the polarity of the solute molecule increases. Charcoal is a non-polar adsorbent that binds large and non-polar molecule. So, what is the partition chromatography? Partition chromatography is a type of chromatography in which the component of the mixture get distributed into two phases due to differences in partition coefficient, that is Kd, which is the ratio of the concentration of solute in two phases. What is Kd? Kd is concentration of solute in phase A divided by concentration of solute in phase B. The distribution of solutes between the two phases is based primarily on solubility differences. In partition chromatography, the stationary phase is liquid and the mobile phase either a liquid or a gas. When liquid used as stationary phase, the liquid is either held in place by physical adsorption to a support matrix or attracted by chemical bonding to a support matrix.